Story of Village PALAMPUR Part 1. Economics Chapter 1. The Story of Village PALAMPUR. In this chapter, we are going to learn the three important objectives. One is factors of production, second one farming activities, third one non-farming activities. Overview. The purpose of the story is to introduce some basic concepts relating to production, and this we do through a story of a hypothetical village called PALAMPUR. Hypothetical village means it is not a real village, it's an imaginary village. This village doesn't actually exist. Through this imaginary village called PALAMPUR, we are going to learn about the production activities of that village areas. Farming is the main activity in PALAMPUR. So village means main activity is farming. Whereas several other activities also taken place, such as small scale manufacturings like sugar cane crushing areas, handlooms, this type of pot making, pottery, this type of small scale manufacturing, dairy products, transport, etc. These and all other activities are carried out on the limited scale, not in a large scale, limited scale. So everything is small one. These production activities need various types of resources. So production activities means we need requirements. Okay. In that, main thing is natural resources. Then man-made items. Natural resources means like land, water, etc. Man-made items means basic tools, machineries, buildings, etc. Human effort, human itself to work inside as a labor as well as the skilled enterprises. Then money means capital investment to buy raw materials and other things. As we read through the story of PALAMPUR, we will learn how various resources combine to produce the desired goods. So all together, how it is combined and produce the desired goods to use and services in the village. Now, introduction of PALAMPUR. PALAMPUR is well connected with neighboring villages. So well connected with means transportation, roads and towns. Raiganj is a big village, is 3 kilometers from PALAMPUR, which is located near to 3 kilometers. And all weather road means when its rain comes, it won't be washed out. Pakka roads only called as all-weather road. Connects the village to Raiganj and further on to the nearest small town of Shahpur. So it's connecting two important places. One is big village Raiganj, another one is small town, that one is Shahpur. Many kinds of transport are visible on this road, starting from bullock carts. Tangas means it's a horse-drawn vehicle. Boges, that means wooden cart drawn by buffaloes, loaded with jaggery, that is go, and other commodities, to motor vehicles like motorcycles, jeeps, tractors and trucks. This village has about 450 families. So how many families are residing there? 450 families belonging to several different castes. They belong to different castes. Among 450 families, 80 families are upper caste families. So upper caste families own the majority of land in the village. So in PALAMPUR village, the upper caste families around 80, they only own the majority of land in that village. Their houses, so rich, so their houses, some of them quite large house, are made up of brick with cement plastering. So made up of brick and cement. The SEs means scheduled caste, that is Dalits. Comprise means composition of the total population of village Palampur is 1/3 of the population of village Palampur and live in one corner of the village. Because they were Dalits, because they are Dalits, so that's what they are living in one corner of village. So population is 1/3 of the total population of Palampur village. And in much smaller houses, they are residing in small houses, much smaller houses, some of which are made up of mud and straw. Most of the houses have electric connections. Most of the houses are electric connections. Electricity powers all the tubewells. They are using in tubewells for the field work, that means irrigation purposes, and is used in various types of small businesses too. Then Palampur has 2 primary schools and 1 high school. So schools also is there. So 2 primary schools and 1 high school. There is a primary health center. Primary health center means it's run by the government, especially run by the state government. It's owned rural health care center. Usually they are giving the minor treatments. And 1 private dispensary. Private dispensary means it's run by an individual person or individual doctor, which is taken place as very limited level of treatment to the sick, injured, okay, where the sick are treated. The description above shows that Palampur has fairly well developed. Yes, because system of roads, it has all weathered roads, transport, electricity, irrigation facilities, schools and health centers. So compare these facilities with those in your nearby village. The story of Palampur, an imaginary village, will take us through the different types of production. Different types of production activities in the village. In villages across India, farming is the main production activity. Village means in their main activity is farming. The other production activities referred to as non-farming activities. So production activities is divided into 2 types. One is farming activity, another one is non-farming activities. Include small manufacturing, transport, shopkeeping, etc. We shall take a look at both these types of activities after learning a few general things about the production. So before that, we are going to learn the farming and non-farming activities. We are going to learn about the factors of production or organization of production. The aim of production is to produce the goods and services that we want, that we require, that we need. There are 4 requirements, 4 factors of production of goods and services. First requirement. So first requirement is land. It's important. This is first one. And other natural resources such as water, forest, minerals. The second requirement is labor. That means people who will do the work, labor work. Some production activities require highly educated workers to perform the necessary task. Other activities require workers who can do manual work. Each worker is providing the labor necessary for production. So educated workers also required according to the production activity. In some production activities, the workers required as manual work, to do the manual work. Third requirement is very important. That one is physical capital. That one is physical capital. The variety of inputs required at every stage during production. What are the items that come under physical capital we learn? Usually physical capital is further divided into subdivided into fixed capital and working capital. So physical capital once again subdivided into fixed capital and working capital. First one, tools, machines, buildings. Tools and machines range from very simple tools such as a farmer's plow to sophisticated machines such as generators, turbines, computers, etc. Tools, machines, buildings can be used in production over many years because it's fixed one. Once you buy the tools, machines and buildings for the production activity, no need to buy the every production activity taken place. For example, in a sugarcane industry, to manufacture the sugar, we need that building, that means factory. It's once you fixed, once you bought, that's all. So for every year you can do the production activity in the same factory, and even in the same machines we can use that. Then tools, basic tools also we can use for the production activity. So this one is known as fixed capital. Once we bought, we can use that capital for many years. Next one is raw materials and money in hand. Production requires a variety of raw materials such as the yarn used by the weaver. So for weaver, yarn is the raw materials. And the clay used by the potter. So clay is the raw material for potters, for the pot making activity. Also, some money is always required during the production to make payments for labor payments, etc., and buy other necessary items, even to buy raw materials. Raw materials and money in hand are called working capital. Unlike tools, machines and buildings, these are used up in production. So tools, machine and buildings, once you bought for the production activity, we can utilize this for many years. But raw materials and money in hand is one production activity only it taken place. If you want to further, you have to buy another time that raw materials and money. Okay, so money also required for every production activity. So this one is working capital. There is a fourth requirement too. That is, you will need knowledge and enterprise to be able to put together land, labor and physical capital. So we need the fourth requirement person. That person put together the above all the three factors, all the three requirements of the production, that is land, labor and physical capital, and produce an output, produce and products, either to use yourself or to sell in the market. These days is called as human capital. We shall learn more about the human capital in next chapter. In this picture, identify the land. Yes, land is there. On the land only, factory is there. So, land factory. Okay. Labor, so working persons are labor. And fixed capital, machines, buildings is there? No. That one is fixed capital used in production. Used in production. Next, every production is organized by combining land, labor, physical capital and human capital, which are known as factors of production. So these four are basic important thing. That one is known as factors of production. As we read through the story of PALAMPUR, we will learn more about the first three factors. So in this chapter, we are going to learn about the first three. That one is land, labor and physical capital. Human capital we will learn in next chapter. For convenience, we will refer to the physical capital as capital in this chapter. So no need to say every time physical capital. For our convenience, we will learn through that capital. Okay. So in this next video, we will learn about the forming of PALAMPUR. Until then, thank you.